I'm going to be doing my 15 things I did in 2015. Last year I did a 14 things I did in 2014, so that would make sense to do it again this year since a lot of you guys seem to like it and I like doing it. I think it's a good way to kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of fun to like think of 15 things I did. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna be saying everything in chronological order. To start off, the first thing that happened was on January 16th, Joanna, Louie's mom, tweeted me. I think I mentioned this in a couple of videos now, and if you follow me on social media, you definitely would have heard about it, especially when it happened, because that was like all I talked about for a good month or so. On January 16th, I tweeted Joanna. She tweeted something, and then I tweeted her. I was like, hey Joanna, I ordered a Rovers jersey. If I wore it to the show, do you think Louie would notice me? And she was like, I think that would catch his eye, with a smirky emoji. And I was in my personal finance class, and I just like darted out. I like ran out of my class, and I went in the bathroom, and I was crying, and I tried calling my friends, but like they were in class, so they didn't answer. And so I called my mom, and I was like, oh my gosh, Joanna tweeted me, oh my gosh. And I was like crying, and oh my goodness, it was the best moment. Probably one of the best moments, obviously, of this year. That's why it made it to my top 15 list. It was actually really hard thinking of 15 things, so some of them are really lame, but that one was one of the best things that happened to me this year. And the next thing that I did in 2015 was that I met Lily twice. If you don't know who Lily is, she is one of my best friends. We met through the internet. My sister actually met her first, but my sister and her became best friends over the internet, and then her, me, and Lauren and Riley's my best friend, Lauren's my sister, and then Lily, we all four became like really close friends. We talk all the time, and my sister and her, I think, FaceTimed or talked on the phone at least every day for like the first year or so that they were friends and everything. And in March, we got to meet Lily in real life for the first time ever, and it was a really surreal experience, and it was so much fun. And we took her to some of our favorite places in Kansas City, and I think she was only here for like 3 days in March, so it was a really short time. And whenever it was over, we were all crying, and we were just like so sad. So as soon as she got back, we planned another trip for her to come down. So in the summer, she came here for like about a little over a week. I think it was like 8 days or something like that, and it was so much fun. It's so awesome. If you have an internet friend, try to do as much as you can to try and meet them, because it is the most surreal experience. It's so cool. It was so awesome meeting her and getting to hang out with her, and I don't know, looking through the pictures and stuff, I'm like, I miss Lily. So it was really awesome meeting Lily. That was definitely one of the highlights of my 2015. For sure, one of the best moments of this year. We had so many memories. And then the next thing that I wrote down was on March 25th, Zayn left One Direction, which was obviously a huge part of my 2015. That definitely made like a big impact on the year, I think, for me and for everybody else that's a One Direction fan. Not necessarily in a good way. Well, I was so devastated. I seriously think, I put on my little list, heartbreak. I seriously think I experienced like true heartbreak, like a breakup, for the first time when Zayn left, because I've never had a boyfriend, fun fact. So I've never really gone through a breakup, but Zayn leaving was like going through a breakup for me. Like, I don't know, I cried for like a couple days. I didn't go to school, and it was really bad. I had a really hard time coping with it. March was like the biggest year. March and October, maybe August and July. August/July and October were like the 3 big months for me that the bulk of the stuff happened. That's all the bulk of everything on my list happened within one of those 3 months, I think. Did that make sense? Next thing is that I got a puppy. Woo! Louie, he's not a puppy anymore. Actually, his birthday was on New Year's, so he's 1 year old now. I ended up getting Louie, and obviously I named him Louie because he was a boy dog, and I said if I got a boy dog, I was gonna name him Louie after Louis Tomlinson, obviously. The 5th thing that happened in 2015 was that I cut my hair, and this might not really seem that exciting, but if you guys look at my older videos, I had somewhat longer hair. I mean, my ends were really dead, so my hair got thinner as it went down, so the ends were just super duper thin and like 5 strands basically, but my hair was longer, and I have never like cut off like a bunch of my hair before and gotten like really short hair. I've just always had long hair and tried to grow it out. But one day I went to go get a trim, and I just spontaneously decided to cut off all my dead ends and get short hair. And it wasn't even that short, it was like a medium length, but I cut off all my hair. I have not kept up on it very well. I need to get it trimmed again because it's getting longer now, but it was like a really big thing for me because I'd always needed to cut my hair and get my dead ends off because I put a lot of heat on my hair and stuff, and my hair's not very healthy, but I could never get myself to actually do it. I don't know, I just didn't want to cut off my hair, but I just spontaneously did, and I think that was a big moment for me because I just spontaneously cut my hair really short, and I loved it. So that's exciting. I'll show a picture when I first got it done. As you can see, it was like about shoulder length, so having long hair most of my life, it was like a pretty big decision for me. And the 6th thing on my list is that during 2015, I hit 1 year of driving which isn't really that exciting, but I had been driving in March, I hit 1 year since I got my driver's license, and in that year I have only gotten 1 speeding ticket and I have only had 1 fender bender. I just backed into a car that was like, I pulled out of my friend's driveway and I kind of backed into the car that was parked in the street, but I only broke their headlight, so I just replaced that, and I scratched up the back of my car, but not really anything major. So I think in a year of driving, nothing too major happened. So I think I don't know, I'm pretty proud of myself. Oh, and then also, along with that, I also hit a year working at American Eagle. So I worked at the same place for a whole year, which I think is kind of an accomplishment, like for being like young and balancing school and work and everything. And this March will actually be 2 years, so look at me go. Then the 7th thing on my list was that I met Dan, Josh, John, and Sandy, aka the band of One Direction, if that makes sense, so like the instrumental band. And I met them in Kansas City. I also put on here that we had stalked for about 10 plus hours total. That was broken into 2 days, but I think a good like 7 of it was in one day, like the actual morning of the concert, and then a good 3 or 4 hours probably the day before. I talked about this, I think, in my Ultra Kansas City experience video, so if you want to know more in detail about that and you're One Direction fan, go check out that video. It is really, really, really long. I think that video is almost an hour long, but I think the first part is mainly when I talk about that. So if you want to know more about that, check out that video. I will link it in the description box below. I've never met them before, and I've never met anybody like related to them before. I've come really close multiple times, but I haven't actually met anyone. So meeting them was like crazy because I've known who the instrumental band is for a really long time, and Dan is actually probably one of my favorites of the instrumental band because I remember at Take Me Home Kansas City concert 2013 on July 19th, whenever he told a camping joke to Louie and they were like saying that joke back and forth and stuff. I loved Dan after that moment. So I was like freaking out. I was shaking so much and I was just like, can I take a selfie? And I was just, oh my goodness, I was shaking so much. I always thought in my head, oh, I'm gonna become cool and collected. I'm gonna tell him that I liked his camping joke in 2013. He'll know I'm a real fan. But I was just not able to do that. I could barely even ask for a picture because I was so nervous and I was shaking so much, like I like physically couldn't talk. I was a mess. So I met them, that was Dan and John at the same time, asked them both for a picture, talked to Dan first, and then I talked to John. Because I went to Dan first and somebody else went to John first, and then we kind of like switched, if that makes sense. And then I was freaking out, I was crying after that. I was like, oh my gosh. Anyways, basically we had met the band members multiple different times. Like I think we ended up meeting John like a total of 6 or 7 times because we hung out inside the lobby of the hotel they were staying at for like 7 hours the day of the concert, and then we'd also met him twice the day before that. So yeah, it came to the point where he was crossing the street and he was like, hey again, and to us, like he said hi to us because he recognized us. He was probably like, oh my gosh, why are these people following me? But still, he said hey to us. The 8th thing on my list of things I did in 2015 was that Louie pointed at me. Once again, you can watch my Ultra Kansas City video if you want to know more about that, or see, I'll actually include the video clip in this because I know everybody's probably dying to see. I had held up my Rovers jersey and my sign that said, Louie, will you sign my Rovers jersey? And he saw it and he pointed at me. And I'll show the video. Also, if the video looks like, if you're like, Emily, like what are you crazy? Like he's obviously not looking at you, like he's looking in a totally different direction. It's because I didn't actually film that video. My sister filmed it and she was an aisle in front of us. Like we were sitting, it's like the catwalk and then the little 4 seats. There's like 4 seats, like a row, it's like only 4 seats right here, and then an aisle, and then like a whole section. We're on the edge of that section, that's where me and Riley were, and Lauren and Michaela were in the little 4 seat section right next to the catwalk, and it was like an aisle, it was across the aisle and over a few rows, and yeah, Lauren was filming that video and when he pointed at me. So does that make sense? So Lauren was right by the catwalk filming it, and I was behind her, like I was a whole aisle behind her and over where he pointed at me. So that's why in the video he doesn't look like he's directly pointing at me or looking at the camera or whatever. It's because I wasn't the one filming it. It was Lauren and she was sitting in a different section than me. But that was obviously like the main highlight of my year was when Louie saw my jersey, because I don't think I need to explain, it was just the highlight of my year. And at number 9 on my list of things I did in 2015, this one is really similar to the last couple, But I saw One Direction twice. I got to go to 2 Ultra shows. I saw them in Kansas City, and then I saw them again in Chicago. And those were the 2 best nights of my entire year. If I could relive one day from 2015, it would be Ultra Kansas City. Number 10, kind of similar to the last one again, but I got to go to Chicago, so I got to go to a new place. I think that's the only place that I really traveled to this year. That was my first time going to a major city because, like, I've gone to LA multiple different times, but I haven't been to New York or Chicago or somewhere that's like a big bustling city, I guess. Like LA is a big city, but it's like in a different way. It's like LA is more chill and like, I feel like it's a little bit more spread out. Like it is compact, but not quite as much as Chicago and New York, I feel like. So I got to go to like a really big city for the first time and ride the subway for the first time. Okay, the 11th thing on my list is kind of stupid, but like I mentioned earlier on in the video, I have never had a boyfriend, never had my first kiss, nothing like that, which is super lame because I'm 18. But in 2015, I went on my first date, and my second date. Okay, so number 12. I went to my very first school dance. Okay, so in 8th grade they have like an 8th grade dance that everybody goes to, but it's not really a big deal. I wouldn't really consider it a real school dance. This year I went to homecoming, which was my first high school dance. I haven't been to homecoming or prom or anything in the last, well, all of high school. So this year as a senior, I went to my first high school dance and it was homecoming. So that was fun. I didn't go with a date or anything. I just went with a group of friends, but it was still fun. I was gonna do a get ready with me for homecoming, but I think I did like 6 or 7 people's makeup that day, and it takes about like, you know, a good amount of time for each person, especially with applying fake eyelashes and stuff. So I got myself ready for homecoming, like my hair and makeup and everything. I got my hair done, but I did my own makeup and everything like at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I did everybody else's makeup the entire day until like a couple hours before the dance when we left to go eat, and we were late for the dance. I think we were only at the dance for about 10 minutes, but that wasn't intentional. Where we went out to eat kind of messed up our reservation a little bit, so we left the restaurant like an hour before the dance ended. So by the time we got back to school, there was only like about 10 minutes left of the dance, which is totally honestly fine with me because I don't really know how to dance. In the 10 minutes that I was there, I felt really awkward. I just like the whole dressing up part, but maybe if I go to prom, which hopefully I'll be going to prom, maybe I'll be there for more than 10 minutes. And then number 13 on my list of things that I did in 2015 was that I hit 50,000 subscribers here on YouTube, which I'm still going to be doing. I'm gonna do a 50,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm just saving up my money because I'm gonna be spending about, I think I'm gonna do 2 gifts, so like 2 winners with prizes or gifts or whatever, valued up to around $50 to $60 per gift, which is $120 total. I'm still working on it, but I'm still planning on doing a 50,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm just still kind of getting it together and saving up my money and figuring out what I want to get, because as soon as I have it figured out, I change my mind and it's really a struggle. And Christmas just came around, you know, Christmas just happened. I had to buy a bunch of gifts for Christmas. So now that Christmas is over, I'm gonna try to figure that out and get that. I'm still planning on doing that, so I didn't forget about it. And then the 14th thing that I did in 2015 was that I turned 18. My birthday is October 26th, and I am officially an adult now. I'm now officially an adult, and I can apply for in-store cards at stores. So, and the last thing that I did in 2015 was that I watched Star Wars, not the new one, well, I have seen the new one, but my childhood, I had never really seen Star Wars or anything, and whenever it was like announced that they were making a new one, or right before the new one came out, we decided to watch all of the Star Wars. So I finally can say that I have seen all of the Star Wars now, and now that I've seen them all, I'm a pretty big fan, which I know I'm kind of hopping on the bandwagon since the new one just came out, but I really do genuinely love them. Okay, well, that was the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you would like to, leave a comment below letting me know 15 things that you did in 2015. Just warning you, it is really hard to come up with 15 things. That's why a couple of mine are kind of lame. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you guys enjoyed. Also, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media. Oh, and also don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed. And make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.